Welcome back to Good Day Stateline. Have you ever wondered how would you ever be able to recreate one of your favorite childhood dishes? You know, the one your grandma made but no one ever wrote down? Wonder no more. Tonight we've got the host of Magnolia Network's Recipe Lost and Found, Casey Corn. She's going to tell us all about her new show and how she manages to do this. Hi, Casey.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so this show sounds so cool. It's called Recipe Lost and Found. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so as you said, I help people recreate their lost family recipes. That dish that they just don't know how to make but really, really miss. I go to them and I help them figure out how to make it again.
So how did you become so full of cooking skills that you can figure out how to make a long-lost dish?
Well, I'm a classically trained chef, and aside from that, I'm also a food anthropologist. So I work with food and culture and history and the understanding that food is universal and we all eat, and so what we eat says who we are. And learning about people's food and culture helps me recreate lost family recipes.
I love that so much. I think a lot of us do remember foods from when we were kids and we're like, but what was that exactly? So when you are recreating these recipes, how do you get started? Where do you start?
So basically, I'll go meet up with the family and really try to extract every memory possible. So, you know, who was cooking the dish, where they came from, what ingredients they were using, when they were cooking the dish, and then, you know, how many memories do you have about the dish itself? And people usually remember a lot more than they think they do. You know, the flavors, the textures, actually remembering the person cooking the dish in the kitchen. And I put all those pieces together and hopefully get that dish onto the table again.
So it must be really cool to actually spend some time with these families to create the recipe. What's your favorite part of doing that?
Definitely spending time with the families, you know, learning more about food, things that I, never knew before about food is so fun. And then also, of course, eating all the delicious food is really the best part.
Yeah, I imagine when you're eating everybody's favorite dishes that's not too bad of a job.
I like it a lot.
All right, so if you are not coming to our homes to help us recreate these dishes, can we do this ourselves, and how do we start?
I mean, I'll warn you, it's definitely a labor of love, especially if you do not do this for your job. And so be prepared for it to take a while. But, start remembering the things, you can remember and what you can't. Go out and eat the dish as much as you can to see what feels familiar and what doesn't. And then just start cooking, Keep trying things and ticking off boxes and checking things off the list. And hopefully by the end, you'll get Grandma's dish back.
Yeah, I feel like watching your show would actually help us too to figure out how to, rediscover these recipes on our own. Recipe Lost and Found, how can we watch it and where can we find it?
So Recipe Lost and Found airs every Friday in August on Discovery Plus and the Magnolia app.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Casey.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline.